This is why I will never go camping in the woods at night. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell. This is once again coming from my apartment. Now today we are going to be talking about the film Blair Witch. This is the sequel to the 1990-something film The Blair Witch Project, which I actually just recently watched in the last 2 years when I was a senior in college. A friend of mine had it, so we watched it, and so I got to see Blair Witch Project. Honestly, it did not hold up for this time period just because of how many found footage stuff there is, and the fact that everybody knew that it is fake by this point compared to when it was originally premiered, and there was a whole promotional campaign surrounding it where people thought it was an actual real thing. And so now we have the sequel, and does it hold up or possibly surpass the original? Let's find out. The concept of this film is that the brother of Heather, who is our main character in the Blair Witch Project, he is now all grown up and he is desperate to find out what happened to his sister. And so the smart thing, of course, is to go back into the forest where she disappeared and try to figure out what happened to her with a group of friends, and bad things start to happen eventually, as you can probably guess. James McCune, he plays the main character. He is the brother who is desperately looking for his sister. And then we got Kelly Hernandez. She is kind of somewhat of a love interest, but they don't really expand on that. But she's also this person filming this documentary about James trying to find his sister for her class, and so that's kind of her purpose in the role. And then just friends that are along for the ride. I thought all the actors did really, really good jobs in their performances of this film, because especially towards the end, or parts where they're supposed to just be really freaked out, I thought they did just really, really good work. Especially the last scene, I thought that was just very, very well done. I also like that this film added a lot of lore to the original film, because we learn a little bit more about the history of the woods, a little bit more about the history of the Blair Witch, how she ends up killing. We see trees being just snapped in half by some creature, which we don't really see a whole lot of time, and just added things that expand upon the original film. I like that aspect. And if this film does well, I could see it becoming a yearly or bi-yearly series that just keeps chucking out movies and adding on to the lore of this place. Because I would like to see a little bit more, maybe like a prequel to the Blair Witch Project, to see how all this stuff came to be. I think that'd be really interesting, and not filmed in found footage, so we actually have a proper film. That was one of my issues with the film, is that while it is found footage, it still suffers from the main found footage problems. Is that when the characters are running away scared, the camera's just shaking all over the place. You can't tell what's happening half the time. That's really frustrating when you have something exciting going on and you have no idea what's actually happening. I also felt like there's a lot of just cuts to black, and then they just kind of bring in the next scene, cuts to black, bring in the next scene. I would have liked to see it all just kind of simultaneously just cut together, and you just don't have cuts to black, because it just kind of bugged me. It's like, oh, they just got lazy and decided not to film that, or what's going on. Like the original, there is a house sequence, much longer house sequence from what I remember, where some of the characters end up in the house from the original film, and they have to see if they can escape it. And that sequence was probably one of my favorite parts of the film, if not my favorite part of the film, just because we got to see a lot more of the house and just kind of all the different parts of it, and it seems to be kind of like a paranormal-esque thing to an extent, and I really like seeing that part. That's also where the highest tension was for me personally, because you just don't know what's around any corner, and you know that part of it is the witch just kind of messing with people's minds and stuff, but you just don't know exactly what is real and what is not. And I just really thought that the house sequence was just really, really well done. Most tension-filled part of the film. The other parts of the film, also very tension-filled at certain points. There's a decent amount of humor at the beginning as well. There are parts where I was actually laughing at the beginning because it was just funny dialogue. But ultimately it does feel very similar to the first film, because again, you have a group of friends, documentary, going out into the woods trying to find out about the Blair Witch. They end up fighting amongst each other. People end up going missing. They find weird things, rocks piled up, or these weird stick figures hanging from trees, and then they end up finding a house in the middle of the woods, go into it, and people end up disappearing from there. So it does feel very similar in that regard. I thought that they did a good job adding kind of modern day technology elements to it, like they have these earpieces which also work as small cameras. I thought that was a cool aspect, instead of having to have everybody film everything with an actual camera. I thought that was a cool addition. But guys, Blair Witch, I thought it was a good sequel to the original film. Again, very, very similar to the main plot of the first one, but so is Force Awakens, so you don't really see a lot of people complaining about that. So I say check this thing out if you're interested, if you like the first movie, if you like horror films or found footage films, if you like them, you know what to expect from them by this point. So guys, those are my thoughts on Blair Witch. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I appreciate it immensely. And as always, many people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.